We have a special announcement to make. Former Fleet player Jess Healy will be featured on our episode on January 3rd. She will talk about her experience in the inaugural PWHL season and will share about her fundraiser for the Boston Marathon. Make sure to stay tuned and listen in on January 3rd.
Let us know if you have any questions you want us to ask her. Hey everyone, it's Kelsey. Welcome back to the Wicked Alert podcast.
And I'm Alicia. Today, Kelsey and I will be talking about the games from the opening week of the PWHL.
Yes, finally, the PWHL is back. I will say that yesterday was the Boston home opener, so I'm not sick. This is just my voice after all that yelling. So I'm sorry for your ears for this episode. But before we get into talking about the games that went down, we're just going to talk about like what we've been up to in the past week or so. Did you want to go ahead and start?
I'll start, yeah. So, I mean, kind of a crazy time for me right now. Like, PWHL starting, also exam season. Like, whoever in the PWHL decided to do this to me, thank you, but also no thank you. It's been kind of tough fitting everything in my schedule. Like, just last week, I accidentally went to the wrong place for Ottawa's practice. Well, I didn't. It wasn't an accident. I hadn't been updated on the change of place. So I went to Ottawa U. They were actually practicing at Carleton. By the time I realized it was too late. So I missed it, which that was kind of unfortunate. And then on Saturday, I went to the PWHL, I'm so used to saying like PWHL Montreal.
Not the dead names.
The Montreal Victoire. I went to their home opener because it was against Ottawa. And that was my first game going as media, which was in itself really cool. And then also, I really like Place Bell. I think it's a perfect arena for the PWHL. And I don't want to get too much into it because Kelsey and I are going to talk about that a little bit after. But yeah, I also went to Ottawa's home opener on Tuesday, which was fun. And yeah, other than like homework and projects and, doing presentations, it's like presentation. Okay, now go to a PWHL game. Okay, now go write an essay.
I literally had class yesterday, and then I was like, hours later, I was at a hockey game. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so I didn't have too much going on. Had American Thanksgiving, which, by the way, our podcast was all my family could talk about. I guess I never told anyone that I even had a podcast.
That's
so
funny.
Like my poppy was like, "Oh my god, you have a podcast? Like, Billie Jean King, you have a podcast? Like, why didn't I know any of this?" So I talked to him about it, and like he was like subscribing to our YouTube, like everything. And then when my uncle came, like that was the first thing he told my uncle when he walked in the door. So they were just all talking about it. It just felt so cool. Like, yeah, like this is my little thing that I do. So that was pretty fun.
It's so funny because for my family, for like our the last time I saw all of my family for like we went out for breakfast, it was hilarious because I was talking to them about my writing because I had posted my first article with the Ice Garden, and it was like hilarious because they were like, "Oh my gosh, you write, you do all this," like they had no idea. And then they found out I had a podcast, and they were like, "She also has a podcast," and it was really funny.
I don't even think my family knows that I write articles. I'll be very, if I'm honest, I don't think so.
They don't know yet.
Yeah. If they're listening to this episode, they'll find out, and then I'll probably get a text or something like, "You didn't tell me this either." But yeah, and yesterday was the Boston home opener, which was so fun. I'm not going to talk about the game itself. I'm just going to talk about like what like went down, like warm-ups wise, like interaction wise, and then we'll talk about the game later on. But yeah, so I made a bunch of like these little, I can probably show on the camera if you're watching, these little keychains backwards. These little keychains. I made like more than 20 of these. My fingers hurt so bad still today. I got home from school. I got home around like 2:00, and then from 2:00 to like 4:20 or like 4:30, somewhere around the 4:30 mark, I was just making these keychains. And then I made so much because I put like Boston has like a little like fan group on Facebook, and I'm like, oh my god, like who wants a keychain? I'm gonna be making these. literally at least 50 people responded wanting one, and it's not like I could make 50 keychains. It was insane, but yeah, I showed up with a bunch of those. The guy at security was really funny because he didn't expect me to have like a handful of keychains in the little bucket, and that was the look he gave was priceless. But yeah, like at first intermission, I was just standing up near like concession, just waiting for people to show up. A lot of people came up. They were like, "Oh my god, like hi!" Like they were really excited to get one. So people were taking pictures with me. I think I told you this, but one mom, or I think I told Tris this, friend of the pod. There was one mom who texted me later on, or like responded to a comment on Facebook. They're like, "Oh my god, like my daughter was so excited to meet you," and that just like made my heart melt. Like I love hearing that. But yeah, it was so fun. Warm-ups was really fun. It was just I met some new friends. There was a friend, I will say, I took him to the finals game last year, like the very last game of the season, where we lost. He was at the game yesterday and we lost again. So I told him he is banned from Songa Center. He cannot come back. And I did try a hot dog. So I'm gonna give my rating. My mom.
Wait.
Oh, we're gonna wait to that too.
Now it's time for Kelsey and Alicia's hot dog rankings.
Yes. So my mom got me the hot dog because I was just at the glass. I had a few friends down there, so I wanted to be with them at the glass during warm-ups. I guess the guy told her that they were old, but I don't believe that because I don't think the workers would tell them straight up like their hot dogs were old. So I don't know how much to believe. But I think it tasted really good. Like I give it not the best Songus hot dog I've had, but I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. It was so good. I don't think there's ever a bad Songus hot dog.
Mm-hmm. Good to know.
Such a really good game. Yeah, clearly I'm still dealing. I woke up with like a big, like I sat up and I had like a big like headache. I felt like, I don't know, I just felt like I had a night of partying. It was so much fun.
So unless you live under a rock and you listen to our podcast, which I highly doubt, if you listen to it, you know what happened this week. It was the PWHL opening weekend. As we were recording this, it's Thursday, December 5th. And there has been a total of 6 games so far this season. I mean, I haven't watched every game because, some of them have been conflicting times with school or just the game that I've been on. Kelsey even couldn't watch the first game because she was working, so tough out here. I guess I'll talk about Ottawa's games because those are the ones that I've watched. First game against Montreal, I mean, not gonna lie, Ottawa did not play that great. They played really bad in the second period. Third period, they picked it up again, and they were good. But Mashmeyer made 42 saves. She really gave them a chance to win. And when it went to overtime, I was like, I'm getting like trauma from last year's home opener when Montreal beat us in overtime. And it actually was kind of funny because when I saw Poulain miss that one shot, I was like, she's not missing again. She's going to win the game in shootout. That's what she goes on and does. I mean, I'm still happy Ottawa gets the 1 point. And I thought even without Brianne Jenner, they played a really good first game. I mean, Danielle Serdachny, talk about a rookie performance. Like, she's so good. I don't know if you've had the chance to see it, Kelsey, but like, she looks like she's been playing in the PWHL for like 5 years.
I haven't seen too much of her this season, but hopefully that changes. I've seen a lot of Sarah Fillier. I've seen a lot of like New York Sarah Fillier and Alex Comperture. That's all I've been seeing on, Twitter, Instagram. That's all I've been seeing. So much.
They've been lighting it up.
Yeah, 100%.
I also went to the game on Tuesday, Ottawa's home opener, which was really fun. I was a little disappointed with the attendance. I think Ottawa's home opener was about 5,000 something for attendance.
That's good for Boston games.
Which isn't great for a home opener, in my opinion. Capacity is about 8,000 to 9,000 inside of TD Place. But at the same time, it was on a Tuesday night. I know the Ottawa Senators also had a season seat member autograph signing that night. So I think that might have taken away from a lot of hockey fans being able to go. I also, Toronto and Montreal had the light up bracelets. We did not in Ottawa, and I was so disappointed.
Boston didn't have like anything. They didn't have the bracelets. They didn't have towels. Our budget
Damn.
is kind of
R.I.P.
awful.
Boston fans, you get nothing.
I know. I know.
You didn't even the last game in the finals. You didn't even have rally towels.
Yeah, no, we had cards.
I think that is just like a logistics thing that the PWHL needs to fix.
I think it's like a budget thing because we probably have like the lowest attendance, like
Yeah,
average. Probably, I would say so. Like yesterday, we had like 3,000 something for a home opener. I mean, we don't have too big of a capacity. I think it's like around like 6,000, but it's probably like a budget thing.
yeah. I definitely think I'd like to see it be more consistent across the
Mhm.
teams because I don't know, it makes like teams like Montreal and Toronto seem like they're like really cool, and then what Ottawa and Boston like what?
I know, I know.
It's not like the teams have individual owners either. So I just think it would be nice to have
Mhm.
some league-wide consistency with stuff like that. So
I agree.
fans aren't getting jealous. It also makes I don't know, makes you want to come to a game. Like I love getting a light up bracelet and a rally towel.
I know I'm not like a Taylor Swift like fan or not, but I still would have been cool to have like a little light up bracelet that reminds me of like seeing them like in those videos.
Yeah. Maybe Ottawa's saving them for the game at the Canadian Tire Center tomorrow. That's also a
Mm,
possibility. I'm hoping they have rally towels tomorrow. I don't think they will, but I am still hoping.
for
I
the
think it'd be really
CTC
cool.
game.
Even the game tomorrow, like the attendance, I don't know what it is. I don't know because the Sens play the next day, but the attendance, like the ticket sales, have not been as good as I would have thought. Um, which is kind of disappointing, but it also just doesn't make sense to me. There's got to be something going on that's maybe preventing people from coming. Maybe a Saturday afternoon game would have been a better choice.
I I feel like this is how it was last season. We got more like fans in seats later on in the season. Like when we were doing like the takeover series, that's when we got like the most fans in, and I feel like that like kind of stayed consistent. Like the as those games happened, like more fans were at, like home. You know what I mean? Like more fans started showing up. So maybe when like the takeover tour, is that what they're calling it? Takeover tour?
Takeover tours, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, maybe when that starts up, we'll start seeing more fans throughout.
I've heard some people say that they think the Quebec City game has a factor in it, but so fans in Quebec aren't traveling to Ottawa for this game. They're
Um,
just going to travel to Quebec City instead because it's against Montreal. Um, I really don't know why the tickets haven't been selling. I think right now we're probably at about at least 10,000 tickets have been sold, which like is still a lot of people, but I was really hoping it would sell out and I don't think it's going
That's
to.
like 3,000 away from like the record, like the United States record. I think it was like 13,500 or something for the
Yeah,
game in
so
Detroit.
10,000 is still not like a low number. Like
Yeah,
um
no,
it's still big. I'd say final attendance I'm hoping I would love to see like 14,000. Um it's also hard to tell because they have a lot of group sales and a lot of people buy tickets last minute. They've been starting up kind of doing a lot more marketing. Like they had a video of Drake Patterson, the Ottawa Senators player, trying to get people to go to the game. Um, which also I thought was funny because his sister plays on Minnesota. Why didn't they get Ridley Gregg, whose sister plays on Montreal to
while you say that, I just want to point out that this is like completely like not even like not like relative to this conversation, but you brought up May Batherson. I saw her yesterday just casually walking around.
That's so
And
funny.
I didn't know that the reserve players I didn't know they didn't like stay on the bench. I didn't know that they were just that they just stay like, you know what I mean? Like I thought they'd be in
Yeah.
like the locker room or something. No, I saw her. I saw Taylor Gerard.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was just that was random. I had to get that out there. Continue.
Yeah, I don't know, like I'm gonna pull up the Ticketmaster right now because I haven't looked today yet. Um and it seems like more tickets are becoming available, which is really weird too.
Why would they hold? I know like other teams will do that. Like they'll hold like certain tickets like for like
But
the
it looks
last
like they've
semis.
held a lot of tickets. And I'm like, where are these tickets coming from? Like before I was like, oh, they've actually like sold out the 100s and 200s. But now, like, I'm gonna pull this up right now for
But
those watching because you're gonna be like, actually, kind of, it's
I know
actually
Boston
pretty
does that.
crazy.
They'll hold like the end like on their side, and then they'll release it like last minute for tickets.
Because okay, here's the Canadian Tire Center. Before all of these were sold out, like all of the 100s, all of the 200s. Where are these tickets coming from?
Oh,
Like this is a significant amount of tickets
that's a
that
little
have
weird.
been released. Like look at all these front row tickets. Um,
Oh, go get your tickets.
go get your tickets right now. I mean, by the time you're listening to this, it's Friday afternoon. You know, if you're
Go
in
try and get your
Montreal,
tickets.
get your
Go
tickets.
try a CTC hot dog.
I don't
CTC
know if it's the price that people don't want to pay, but like to me, how much is a front row ticket? Well, look, front
confused
row
and
ticket's $130. Maybe that's a little steep, but that's on par with other PWHL cities. A ticket in the best spot in the 100s, according to some people, like typical, like most expensive for a Sens game, is only $100. Also, maybe still a bit steep for some people.
what's up
But
there?
you can get a ticket for $33.
Not bad prices.
The thing is also like you can get a Sens ticket for about $35 to $40. So in my mind, $33 might seem a little steep for some people who aren't PWHL fans. In my mind, though, I thought like every minor girls hockey team in the city or surrounding areas was going to want to come to this game.
I feel
Uh,
like any
yeah.
fan like the NHL, like I feel like it's weird. I wouldn't say weird, but I find it surprising how like any fan of the NHL, if there was like a game, like a professional hockey game played at your team's arena, why wouldn't you want to go? I might be biased because like I'm like I just love the PWHL so much. But if I wasn't a fan, like if I was like all in on the Bruins and I knew that the Fleet were playing at TD Garden, I would get tickets so fast just because they're playing at my team's arena. So I
That
find
too. It's also
it's hockey.
I
Like
yeah, I really hope a lot of these tickets maybe sell tomorrow. Uh, because if you look at this is like almost full sections in the 300 level that aren't sold. I really hope these are actually all sold. Um, and they're not holding
they better not
tickets.
release those tomorrow.
But yeah, it's just so weird because all of this was sold out until like today or yesterday. And then I looked and I was like, where did all like this is like a few hundred tickets.
Come on, guys, let's pack
That
CPC.
yeah, I mean, you look at this and if you showed this to women's hockey players 10 years ago, they would look at this and they wouldn't complain. They'd be like, that's a lot of people.
They'd be
So you kind
shocked.
of have to look at it from that perspective.
Mhm.
But it is still a little unfortunate. I think the timing too just wasn't the best. If you look at like home opener on Tuesday, this game on Friday, a lot of people were probably picking one of the games to go to, and they probably picked maybe the home opener because who doesn't love a good home opener?
I
And
haven't
then
seen much advertised about it either.
the
Like by
league
the league.
waited till the last minute to release the schedule, and especially for a game like this, I just unfortunately the World Juniors are happening in Ottawa this year. Well, not unfortunately because I'm excited for it, but it kind of I think a game like this around Christmas break would have been perfect. Like
Mm-hmm.
right after Christmas, like early January would have been awesome. I think it would have sold a lot of tickets. Games around that time usually do. I just poor timing in my opinion. I think even if you had done the home opener at the Canadian Tire Center, which some people have disagreed with me on, but
I'll
I
just
think
continue with that.
you disagree?
I feel like a home opener should be the home. Like it should be the place you know. You know what I mean?
Yes and no. I think it would have been really cool to have it in Ottawa.
I
Like
agree. I
at
agree
the
it would be
Canadian
cool,
Tire
but
Center.
I feel like I understand your point, but I also understand the other points.
Yeah, I think it's kind of I did talk to well, I didn't specifically talk one on one, but at the press conference when this game was announced, Ottawa's operations manager, Aaron Thompson, said that they had planned to play here if Ottawa had made the playoffs, which a lot of people had thought. Like I was pretty sure if they made the playoffs, they were going to be playing at the Canadian Tire Center for at least a game. And that would have been perfect. That would have sold out 110%. Like, I really just think it's poor timing and last minute, which has kind of
I
hindered
think
the
the
ticket sales.
idea was really great. I just think the execution could have been so much better.
Yeah.
I hope that's
Which
something.
I don't fault the team on. I think it was a league decision.
I feel like
It's
I
just
feel like
unfortunate.
again, it's just a consistency thing too.
Yeah.
Because you have all these other games, like you have the Quebec City game, which don't get me wrong, like it deserves the hype that it gets, but I feel like the hype that it's getting is not consistent with the other games. Like the Seattle game, I've heard a lot of hype around the Seattle game. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Edmonton and Vancouver, I believe, have both sold out for
Really?
their games. So I really just don't think it was executed well because on another day, I would see this game selling out.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they'll do it again because I think it's really cool when they get to play like in NHL arenas,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm so excited for tomorrow. Um, Not only for the game, but I get to go to the Canadian Tire Center as media, which is like little 12-year-old Alicia's dream.
There you go.
And for women's hockey, if you told me that like what 10 years ago, I would have thought you were off your rocker.
Lying
Like
on something.
lying. Even if you told me like a year ago, because the PWHL hadn't even started a year ago.
I wish I could have told you this a year ago, like when we first met.
You didn't even know me a year ago.
I know, but I wish like when we first met, I'd be like, Alicia, you will be as media as CTC.
Like that's just crazy to me, and I do think it is important to acknowledge that the growth within the game, even if this game doesn't sell out. I hope people don't spin it in a negative way because it's
No.
you wouldn't have sold 10,000 tickets.
Less than a year ago. Actually, that's not even right. But a year ago, we weren't even here, and now
Yeah,
we're having games in NHL arenas. Like,
yeah.
there's no discrediting. No matter how many tickets sell, no matter how empty the stadium is, there is no taking away how special this is. Like, because a year ago we weren't even here. This was just an idea.
Yeah.
We had like the cities and all that, but we were not playing these games, and we were still at these smaller venues.
I gave away 2 tickets to the game earlier, a couple weeks ago because I really wanted to kind of help fill the stadium.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the person I ended up giving the tickets to who won them has actually never even been to a PWHL game. And is a big hockey fan that I think goes to see Sens games. So that's really fun. It's gonna be good. My sister and my sister's boyfriend are going.
Awesome.
Originally my parents were supposed to go, but then my mom's was like, ask your sister if she wants to go, and they wanted to go, so then my mom gave them the tickets instead, and now my mom's working. Otherwise I'd tell all of them to go. But yeah, my sister and her boyfriend, I told them I'd come see them either before the game or during intermission because I want to be like, look at me with my little fancy media pass.
I can't wait.
My friends all joke with me. I have a lot of friends in the POHL Ottawa community who I met before I started writing and doing this podcasting. And it's so funny because they act like my bodyguards. Not that I even need a bodyguard. Like when I tell you no one knows who I am, no one knows who I am. I'm not like Kelsey. Or people do know who I am, but they just don't want to talk to me.
I love how you say that.
No one asked to take a photo with me. No one said hi to me. People do like look at me. I don't know if it's because of my past, but they look at me like I'm someone special.
I'm just another fan. You're media. I'm just another fan at the game. That's all it is.
Maybe that's why they're like afraid to talk to me, which if you're listening to this, don't be afraid to talk to me. I'm not scary. Maybe I look scary. I don't think I am scary.
It'll be the best thing you decide to do. If you are at a game,
Yeah.
Alicia, please just go say hi.
Don't distract me during the game because I need to do my job. But during intermission, before the game, after the game, heck yeah. I'm down. I said I'd buy you a hot dog. No one wants a hot dog.
Dude, like, this is a golden opportunity right now.
Like, you
I
could
could go
rob me right with hot dogs. Before we continue, here's a word from ESPN.
Missing out on your favorite NHL games of the week? Sign up for a subscription to ESPN Plus, your number one spot to watch NHL hockey by visiting insidetherink.com/ESPN.
The Canadian Tire Center, though, I won't be around in the concourse that much, so if you want to say hi to me, you'll have to reach out, and I'll make it happen. Not that still not gonna happen, but maybe someone will change their mind.
Outside CTC.
Outside CTC, I'm probably showing up there tomorrow at about 5, which is early. You can get there, like go in, get free parking, which is chill. I know I'm hanging out with a few friends tomorrow. We're gonna have like pizza and stuff.
Awesome.
Tomorrow afternoon, and then I have a crazy day because I have an appointment tomorrow morning at like 8:30 for my teeth, and then sorry TMI if you don't like teeth.
If you don't like teeth.
And then I'm going to practice tomorrow. Well, pregame skate. It's at the Canadian Tire Center. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get in trouble. But it's at the Canadian Tire Center. And then I'm going to have pizza and hang out with friends. And then I'm going back for 5, and I'm going to be at the game. And post-game media actually takes a while. I didn't get home until like 11:30 on Tuesday. So I probably won't get home until like midnight tomorrow. So I have a long day ahead of me.
Yeah, I just got work tomorrow.
Because the Canadian Tire Center is out in the freaking middle of nowhere. So it's about no traffic. I can make it there from my house in half an hour. Rush hour, it's an hour.
Ooh, it's gonna be fun though.
But luckily I'll already be out on towards the western end of the city for that, little pizza party. So I don't think I'll have
Works
to
out well.
as long. I'll probably leave for like 4:30. Maybe even
I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, follow me on X for live updates. I was a little afraid of posting stuff on Tuesday because I was sitting beside Claire Hanna, who is one of the Ottawa Senators TSN broadcasters who sits on the panel, and I was like freaking out sitting beside her. I didn't want to embarrass myself. So as long as I'm not sitting beside anyone maybe potentially even more high profile, I will be posting more. Just because I'm like new and like I haven't done it, just like pulling out my laptop and like her being able to like glance over at what I'm doing, I just couldn't get myself to do it.
You need one of those like little screen things.
We were all really close together too. We were on these like high top chairs, and like it was so funny because every time one of us needed to get up, it was like a whole ordeal. We were packed in like sardines almost.
Oh my goodness. That's so fun though.
It was really funny though.
Love that for you.
I was talking to I was sit beside Claire Hanna, and then on my other side it was Chris Sinclair. He writes for the Hockey News Women's, and super nice guy. And it was so funny because we both turned around at one point, and Dave Cameron was standing behind us. You probably have no idea who Dave Cameron is, but he is I don't know if he still is, but he was the Ottawa 67's head coach. He head coached the Sens at one point. I'm pretty sure he's head coaching the World Juniors for Team Canada, like pretty famous coach.
Yeah.
In Canada, Ottawa specifically. So when I turn around and he's standing right behind me, I'm like, what the hell?
So surreal.
We both looked at each other like, did you just, like, is he standing right behind us?
He's standing right behind me, isn't he?
Anyways, that's like my whole story about Tuesday. Ooh, also good food. They had good food for media, which was
Do they have hot dogs?
definitely enjoyed that. They did have hot dogs. I don't think that is like acceptable food for media, unfortunately. Which I like. I would love a hot dog. Like, Jean-Francois, he's the media and communications manager for Ottawa. If you're listening to this by any chance, please get some hot dogs for the media because I will gladly have a hot dog.
Just simple girls want hot dogs.
I know. Did you watch? How do you think of Boston's play so far?
So I watched briefly. Okay, so Saturday, I watched very briefly, like the first period, I believe. Yeah, first period. And I was actually listening to the game like while at work.
Okay.
So I watched. Funny. I went out on my break just to chill and actually watch the game. And the second I step outside, Hillary Knight scored, which was amazing. And then the second I go, like the very second I step through those doors again, Sarah Nurse scored. So that I don't know, that was just a weird coincidence for me. But I was listening to the game, and from what I took away from it, we were playing very good hockey for the first period, and then as the second and third period came along, like we slowly started like going back to our old habits, and then by the third period, it was completely like last season playoffs again, like just barely no shots on net, can't finish, can't get the puck up, and I think that's just been the theme of how things have been going. I mean, we've only played 2 games, but that's a lot of what I saw yesterday are the same things that I've been seeing during the playoffs. Like we just really could not get that puck away from our defense. Like it was like there was a magnet on the puck on Frankel. Like I know we love Frankel, like we absolutely adore her, but we gotta. I know we can't spend the entire game with her. Like we gotta give her some space. We need the puck on the other side, and it's just something that we cannot do yesterday. It was I don't know. It makes me wonder, like, because you look at our roster, we have a I want to say scary roster, but when you see our roster, you should be like, oh shit, like we have a good roster. We have some great depth, especially our draft picks. Our draft picks are phenomenal, but I just really think that it may be like a coaching thing. Honestly, if I'm giving you like my 100% honest answer, I don't think it's our team. I think it's like it has to be like behind the scenes, like coaching. Maybe the lines. She does switch the line. Courtney Kessel, she does switch the lines quite often, and I just think maybe it's just a coach thing. I don't think it's our players, but I've been seeing a lot of what I've been seeing last playoffs and getting a little worried, to say the least.
I actually was really impressed with Ottawa's play. My colleagues at the Ice Garden love to like attack Ottawa. I don't think any of them like Ottawa, except me. And without Brianne Jenner, which is, I mean, one of Ottawa's best players, easily, they've been playing well. They beat Toronto, I would say, pretty decisively. I mean, Toronto only had about 22 shots on net. I don't remember Ottawa's total, but it was more. Ottawa, I think, has been kind of slowing down in second periods, but really played well in the third period. I mean, you love to see the goal from Jinsey Rose, first PWHL goal here in the second season, and also first PWHL goal for Manon McMahon in the first period, and then Teresa. I'm gonna mess up how to pronounce her name, and I am so sorry. Vanisova.
Oh,
She scored the winning goal. She leads Ottawa in points. She has 2 goals. So that was good to see. I'm excited to see who's going to score tomorrow. Are we going to have a Poulain, Boo? We'll find out. Also, NHL 25, the girls are in the game in 15 minutes as we're recording this. Kelsey, did you see Sarah Nurse is a 91 overall?
I did. I didn't. From what I saw though, like I didn't really see any other players like their overalls. I don't know if it was.
I only saw hers.
Yeah, I only saw her overall, but I know what I'm doing right after we finish recording this. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Such a perfect day to drop too. Like on a day where there's no PWHL games. I think they planned that. I think they planned that, honestly.
I just am so excited. 91 overall for Sarah Nurse, though. I think that is too high. I love Sarah Nurse. I think she's a good player. But if she's a 91 overall, Marie-Philippe Poulin is 100, and they don't even go up to 100. I just am curious to see, like, the comparison between players. I think will be interesting.
I think what's interesting is I don't know how they're gonna go about the rating. Like I said, I don't know any other player ratings, just Sarah Nurse. But like I feel like they're on some level trying to compare the women they're playing to the men's, and I feel like that's not a way to go about it. So I hope I hope the players are getting the overalls that they deserve based on like I really hope that I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I hope that they're not like putting them on the same like standards as the men. You know what I mean? Like based on like physicality, because these women are very physical. But I feel like it's a different rules, different everything. Like so I feel like that will be affected. And I hope that they judge them and rate them on their own criteria. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do think it is good to see that they are putting them in the 90s. Like, if they actually, could you imagine if they had put them in like the 60s or something and been like, they can't play? Like, that would have been terrible.
Oh, I would have deleted the game so fast. I would have boycotted
I would have boycotted
EA
EA Sports to the end of time.
Yeah, I would have boycotted the entire EA. So I would have boycotted video games to the entirety of my life.
Okay, that's a little extreme. I respect it though. I'm super excited. Kelsey and I are definitely gonna play against each other.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Boston versus Ottawa. See who's gonna win. I'm likely gonna win, mainly because I think I'm a little bit better at the game.
Fair, but I'm a better goalie, so
yeah, Kelsey's way better. No, not way better.
Oh, I thought you were saying I'm not a good goalie.
No, she's pretty good goalie when we play like EASHL, but like scoring, I'm way better.
Oh yeah, no,
Kelsey doesn't know how to deke.
I know how to. I just forget. There's just too many controls.
But to be fair, I was playing NHL way before Kelsey.
Yeah, and when I started playing NHL for Be a Pro, I was always goalie. Like that was what I started. I was always goalie for Be a Pro, so that's what I know. Like those are my roots. I've only been playing since like NHL 2018 too. So
my first NHL game was NHL 13.
I didn't even know about hockey.
12 years ago, I was... How old was I 12 years ago?
9.
I was 10.
Oh.
No, I was 9 when the game came out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I played it on my PS3.
Oh, wow. PS3. My reaction is like, oh my god, like you're so old, but you're literally 2 years older than me. I don't know why.
That's what makes it funny. Like I'm not that old. Like
I know. I'm like, oh my god, PS3. Like you're literally just 2 years older. That's so.
That's which really NHL 14 was the best NHL game ever made. EA Sports.
And I feel like I'm EA Sports, that I never
please just make NHL 14 again. I don't even care about the players. Don't even update the graphics. Just make it so I can play it again on the PS5 because it is so slow on the PS3 and Xbox 360. It's like almost unbearable.
I believe it. Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited though. I'm so excited to play. Like we deserve. Like these girls deserve this. I don't want to say we, but like. I feel like as fans, like we've been waiting for something like this. We've been waiting, like with MLB the show, we got like that. What they did was really good, and even 2K WNBA, you can play as the teams. You can do a My Career. Like I feel like we just been waiting for all of this, and it's finally coming to us. Like we've been waiting for this inclusive.
I asked for 2K for Christmas because I want to play as a woman. I didn't realize they added that.
No, that you can do that in FIFA too.
I do. I played it in FIFA, but I'm not a big FIFA game fan. No? Like I like not a big fan of it. Every time I try the manager career, I don't know what I'm doing, and I like just want to get all the Canadian national team players on my team.
See, my thing is, I was a goalie in soccer, so I want to be a goalie in FIFA or sorry, FC. I guess it's not called FIFA anymore.
Yeah, it's not FIFA.
So I want to be a goalie in FC, but it is so boring to be a goalie in FC. Like, I guess that's normal though, because like my soccer team was horrendous. So I was used to facing at least 30 shots a game. So maybe that I just had to change my perspective, but never really got into playing FIFA FC.
Kelsey, have you heard of NHL Slapshot?
Why does it sound familiar?
I'm going to talk about this because I think it is such an iconic game. And Kelsey, when you come to my house, eventually, we are playing this game.
It sounds so familiar.
Because it is iconic. It is everything you want in a game.
Oh, it doesn't look familiar. On Wii?
It's on the Wii.
I have a Wii. I could totally get that game.
And you know why it is so good? Because you can play, you go from Pee-wee, playing Pee-wee hockey, tearing it up in Pee-wee all the way.
No way!
An NHL
I have
player.
to get this game.
And the coolest thing about it is you can get a Wii hockey stick and you actually shoot.
Oh, that is awesome.
I had never heard of this game until about a few years ago when my ex's brother introduced it to me. Thomas, you're not listening to this, but if you are, shout out to you, Thomas, because he gave me the game because I loved it so much.
Oh, I need to look at this. I'm gonna see if I can find it somewhere and play it because that's awesome. I have a Wii.
It's so fun. It's like a Wii game. Like the graphics are not good. It's laggy.
Yeah, the Wii, yeah.
The same 3 songs play. Which good soundtrack, but it is like and like the commentators say the same 2 things almost. You can't be goalie, I don't think.
Oh no.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can be. I don't remember.
Maybe I'll have to check. That's so
I haven't
nice.
actually played it in a long time. I got mad because I played and I got drafted to the Leafs.
Something like that, I would have restarted the game.
It is like so cool though. I wish they would add a mode like this in current NHL games. I think it would be so cool. I think people would eat it up. This is really what people want.
I mean, I want women's be a pro, but to each their own.
I wish I could game design because then I would ask EA Sports to hire me and I could help them. But I cannot game design.
All I want from EA is a shorter cutscene, like like when you start to be a pro.
Oh, not the pricey like pond hockey. No,
5 minutes long. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but like I want that out of there, and I want women's be a pro.
EA Sports, like I know they make a lot of different sports games. Like they're not just doing one, but you compare it to like 2K when they make NBA. The career mode is like so in depth.
It has can like walk around the city, like.
And then you look at the show and
Sony, yeah.
Also, I mean, I don't think the show is perfect, but I do love how you get to kind of work your way up to the MLB. They have some cool cutscenes, especially the new women's mode.
And I think they have a combine, if I'm not mistaken, like a little combine.
Yeah, they have the what's it called?
What is it called?
The rookie showcase or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And then even NFL, you have the combine.
Yeah, I think they brought that back like for this, like not 25 but 24. I think they brought it back for 24.
Now, I don't know how many staff they have for EA Sports NHL, but honestly, a part of me wishes they would almost just stop making a new game for a year or 2 and just really kind of make the game better.
That's like all game companies though. Like they'll just keep putting out like new and new and new. They'll just do.
It's unfortunate.
Sort of like a trial and error. Like
the problem is we all still buy it.
We need to boycott. Like just have a whole boycott. I always, but then we got the women, so I'm happy.
Every year I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna buy it this year. Like it doesn't look that good. It looks the same, and then I always buy it.
No, because I was all for not buying this year. Like I planned on not buying it, but then
I knew this was gonna happen too.
But like next year, like unless like we get Women's Be a Pro, I will not buy the game next year. And you can clip this right now. Like it's on recording. Like I mean it. I will not be getting the game this year unless we have Women's Be a Pro.
Sorry, Kelsey. I don't think you're gonna be buying the game next year.
That's okay. As long as I have Siri just went off, sorry. As long as I have My woman's now. I don't care. I'll just be playing PWHL play now until we get women's be a pro.
We can do shootout mode. I'm gonna kill you in shootout mode later.
No,
Okay, that sounded like really aggressive, but like I'm not gonna kill Kelsey. I'm gonna slay in shootout mode. Any final thoughts, Kelsey?
I don't think so. I kind of like how this kind of like we went off track so many times, but it was actually really fun. We did talk about the games and we talked about some other fun stuff, so really proud of that.
Make sure you guys stay tuned for PWHL games. Get your tickets to the Canadian Tire Center, please.
Please get your tickets.
Please, if you get a ticket from now when this is posted, send me a DM somewhere and I will go and buy you a glizzy. You want a free hot dog? Just buy a ticket. That sounds like a pretty good deal.
Right. I think that's a great deal.
I would do that.
I would if someone told me that. Like if I was a listener, I'd be like, oh, buy right now.
If you already have a ticket, I'm sorry, I cannot buy 10,000 hot dogs. Anyways, that wraps up this episode of the Wicked Alert podcast. We hope you enjoyed the first week of PWHL action. Don't forget to follow us on social media to stay up to date with the latest news and episodes. And hey, if you loved what you heard, be sure to like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. It really helps us out. And also make sure to get our merch. The link will be down in the YouTube description if you're watching. You can also find it on our social media. You'll look cool in your little Wicked Alert podcast merch. As always, I'm Alicia.
And I'm Kelsey. And we'll catch you next time. Stay wicked, hockey fans.